The best design podcasts coming up next on Obsessed with Design. Welcome to Obsessed with Design, a show about what makes designers tick. I'm your host, Josh Mile. Okay guys, welcome to my daily design obsessions, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the best design podcasts. The best! These are 12 essential design podcasts to add to your queue right now. Now, ranging from graphic design to architecture to design thinking and everything in between, these are some of the best design podcasters in the biz. So if you want to really learn from some of the best designers in the world, what better way to interact with them than to hear what they have to say about their backgrounds, the way they study, the way they view the world, their process, or a little bit of how they sell or even how they do their work. And no better way that I can think of to get through a whole lot of this kind of advice than to find your favorite designers on a podcast. Of course, each guest is going to make each show a little bit different, and the hosts, of course, add their own special flavor to the sauce as well. But I think between all of these shows, you're going to find at least one or two that you are really into. Are you ready? Let's jump in. The first is Design Matters with Debbie Millman. We, of course, can't have a show about podcasts, about design podcasts in particular, but just about podcasts with all the groundbreaking work that Debbie Millman has done with her show, Design Matters. Now, I can tell you because I actually got to sit in live on one episode that Debbie used to record these by literally picking up an old school telephone and dialing in, and they would record the show live. But this used to be an old school radio call-in style show, and Debbie has just continued to break ground and has been one of iTunes' favorite top podcasts here for several years. So congrats to Debbie. If you haven't checked out Design Matters with Debbie Millman, be sure and add that to your list. The Future by Chris Do. We're going to the future. Now, I saw one tweet from Blair Enns from Win Without Pitching. And by the way, if you don't know Blair Enns, check out Blair Enns and Win Without Pitching as well if you are at all into design and business. But this one tweet from Blair said something along the lines of how much he appreciated the production value of Chris's show and having been a guest on his show as well. And I can tell you that sent me down the rabbit hole of all things Chris Do. He's got, in addition to his show, The Future, he has got a ton of resources if you are a designer and trying to figure out this business thing, how to get paid, how to convince somebody what you're worth. Chris has got just a ton of great content, not to mention his podcast is awesome. Check out The Future by Chris Do. 99% Invisible. Of course, right up there with Debbie Millman, this show is one of the definitive podcasts if you are into the world of design and like the audio medium. Host Roman Mars is just one of the most captivating voices, I think, in the podcast world today. So no matter if you are into looking for the history of the octothorpe, now that is hashtag for you millennials, or # for you old schoolers, or even brutalist architecture, 99PI has got all kinds of great episodes for you. So be sure, if you're not already, for some reason, listening to 99% Invisible, add that to your downloads right now. The Honest Designers Show. Tom Ross, who is also the founder of Design Cuts, was previously on our show, and he leads this awesome roundtable of mostly British designers around topics that modern designers are facing today. Whether you're in a team or a solo designer, this is sure to have some episodes and topics that are good fit for you. Coming in as maybe the most formal sounding intro of all of the podcasts, The Business of Architecture. And I'm not sure I did that any justice at all, but you need to go check this out if you're in architecture or interior design or part of the construction process. Check out The Business of Architecture by Enoch Sears. I was fortunate enough to be on his show twice. So if you are at all in the business world and interested in the design side of architecture, this is a good one to check out. Don't miss it. The Busy Creator by Prescott Perez Fox has got to be one of the early podcasts that I really started to get into. Prescott and I have each been on one another's shows a few times, but Prescott's show is interesting because he delves into the tools, tactics, techniques, production, productivity, all the things that help you do a better job at your day-to-day job. And maybe there are just a few hacks in there that can help you out with time saving or workflow. And he's got some really great big name designers on his show, as well as some folks you may have never heard of before. And I love that blend of the two. So you get like these real world examples and these amazing designers as well. So check out The Busy Creator. Revision Path is hosted by former Obsessed with Design guest Maurice Cherry. Now, Maurice and I had a great conversation a few episodes back. Actually, we'll list that out in the show notes so you can make sure and check that out as well. But Maurice's show delves into Black designers, creatives, and developers. So it's a really great way to highlight some of the most exciting designers out there. Definitely check out his show. Definitely don't call him Mo. Revision Path. Grits and Grids is up next, and you know what one of my favorite topics is outside of design and podcasting? It's food. Well, specifically bacon and coffee. And although those are topics that Joseph Zala covers a little bit, Grits and Grids is a perfect mashup of design nerdery and food geeking out. So check out Grits and Grids. Joe's firm, Vigor Branding, is all about design for the food and beverage industry. So he has definitely got a great point of view when it comes to design for food and beverage. The Observatory by Design Observer is a mashup of Michael Beirut and Jessica Helfand. And these are just two of the smartest people in graphic design. And this show reflects that. This is almost a current events sort of format, and you are going to hear all of the brilliance from Michael and Jessica in each and every episode. So check out The Observatory from Design Observer. Logo Geek. If you can't get enough British accents into your podcast rotation, you're in luck. Host Ian Paget takes his UK-based show to talk about what to charge, what to put in your portfolio, and how to get started as a young designer. Check out Logo Geek, especially if you're into the process of designing for identity. Well Made is hosted by Lumi founder Stefan Engo. Stefan was also on Obsessed with Design a while back. Lumi lives very much in the e-commerce and product design space. So as you can imagine, a lot of the topics that Stefan covers are related to this e-commerce and production and packaging and getting a product out online. So if that is of interest, check out Stefan's show, Well Made. And last but not least, Jason Frostholm, Midwestern boy turned Southerner, hosts the Creative South podcast. Now, first and foremost, if you've never made it down to the Creative South conference, you're missing out. I've been there twice. I can't wait to go back. And this is a really great show that's a collection both of people who have spoken there and people who have not, but it's a great way to get some exposure to both some national designers and a lot of Southern talent. So listen into this show, and by the end, you might be ready to hug necks. You'll figure it out. Okay, guys, so that is my top 12 design podcasts that you need to be adding to your list. I wonder who I missed, and there are probably some really good ones that I should be listening to that I don't even know about or haven't paid that much attention to. So I would love to hear your recommendations. Tweet to @JoshMiles or @ObsessedShow and let us know who you think should make list number 2. Also curious what you think about today's video format. If you are listening via the podcast, as I would imagine most of you are to begin with, we are also doing a video version of this episode. So check us out on YouTube. We will have the link in the show notes. No, we're not going to be able to do that. We'll link to this episode in the show notes. Check it out. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Are you kidding me? Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and visit obsessedshow.com to learn more.